This is wargokeith, your prophet of atheism. Today I'm looking at the video taking a look at historical Jesus. Totally existed, debunking the Christ myth theory by Fifth Watcher. Now I will not be showing you his video as, to be truthful, I'm not that good with movie making software. If anyone is or can send me a video of how to be, I would be most appreciative. This is by no means an exhaustive look. Later installments will arrive as they are finished. Now, without further ado, let us dive in. Now, the first point he makes is the Gospels show events in places that exist. Because the places exist, the events themselves must be true. Okay. If that is the case, and if that's what you honestly believe, then I have some actual footage of aliens taking over the minds of dinosaurs that was affected by the radiation of the H-bomb and have been made to attack Tokyo. Just because events shown to take place in Tokyo does not mean that aliens exist, that dinosaurs are alive today, or that their minds have been taken over by the aliens that don't exist. All it shows is that a model of Tokyo existed during the time and location of the shooting of this film. You have just had your argument defeated by Godzilla, good sir. Please think about that hard. Now, during this, you also point out that there are over 5,000 ancient manuscripts of the New Testament in existence today. The next closest being, of course, the Iliad by Homer, which has 643. Now, what this shows is that you have a grasp of what you're talking about, but you do not understand the significance of such numbers. Consider this. There are many more people living in the world today who have an IQ less than 90 than have one greater of 160. So then, do you argue that the view of those mentally disabled have a greater view than those who have a few geniuses? I would even like to ask you, what is a manuscript? Now, if you go by the original definition, it is something written, script, by hand, manu. However, because the printing press wasn't invented until 1436, all books were manuscripts before that time. Since the printing press has been invented, the common day vernacular has changed into the author's original. Now, under that definition, we do not have the manuscripts of either the New World Testament or the Iliad. So, without the original copies, we must look back to the oldest ones as being the most correct. Now, that dating back to the 3rd century in the Dead Sea Scrolls, roughly 210 years after the last of the Gospels were written. If you were to do some research, you will find that most of these manuscript dates were in the Middle Ages, well after that. And, of course, well after one has thought the originals were written. What we have are, for the most part, copies of copies of copies of copies, well removed from the original, that we don't have evidence that the oldest we have are actually copies of. By no means are these the manuscripts that we have today. Secondly, sir, I would like to ask you to please look at what you are comparing. On the one hand, you have the New Testament, the foundation for the proselytizing of your religion, and the foundation that is your holy word. On the other hand, the Athenian-loving Greeks viewed the Iliad as a great story. You might as well be comparing Harry Potter and A Brief History of Time by Professor Hawking. In short, your argument that the gospel accounts as proof of Jesus have fallen flat by their own weight. Thank you.